Today I'd like to work on shading a box or making a cube. And we are going to do this box in basically 2-point perspective, although we will not use vanishing points or horizon line. I'm just going to give you the basics, shapes of a box and not worry about the perspective aspects of it right now. I do have a lot of videos with perspective on it, so if you want to learn how to draw a perspective box properly, I can show you how to do that. So let's go ahead and start with drawing the box here. I'm going to use a ruler today, and you don't have to use a ruler if you don't want, but I want to do it this way for today. And I'm going to draw back here. I'm going to draw this line just parallel, or basically parallel. And then I'll draw this line here parallel to this line right here, or basically pretty close. You know, if it's not exactly right, don't worry about it. Okay, I'm going to draw back this direction. And if you were drawing 2-point perspective, this would be kind of close to 2-point perspective. Not exactly, but you know, it's kind of basic. Because in 2-point perspective, the lines that go backward would converge at some point, and these don't really converge, they stay pretty much parallel. So it's not really 2-point perspective, but it kind of looks like it. Some of my students will draw this and say, okay, 2-point perspective. And I'm like, well, not really. It's not really 2-point perspective because you didn't use vanishing points and not everything converges. Okay, this one I may have a little bit out to the edge. You know, I can clean that up a little bit. Okay, so what I've drawn our cube here. We could draw it, we could turn it more and show more of the top if we wanted to, or we could show more of the side, depending on how we want to do it. Now we have to determine where our light's going to come from. So let's assume that our light's going to come from kind of this direction. So that means that this side here is going to be really dark. So I need to put in a lot of value here and make it really dark. Now today I'm going to use the ebony pencil, and I do like the ebony pencil. It's pretty good. If you want to get really black blacks, then you may want to go with the charcoal pencil or charcoal. And I've got one right here, charcoal pencil. And I used that for my last lesson. But this one, you know, I really like the ebony pencil. I think overall it does a good job. It gets pretty dark darks, and you know, it does a good job. I'm just happy with the ebony pencil. And if you want, you can turn your pencil sideways. You know, also it helps if you have a good sharpener. I mean, you can get like an inexpensive one and it's fine, but when you get a good sharpener, it really helps. And I think I might get my sharpener out right now. So this is the type of sharpener I have. It's a pretty nice sharpener. It's got some different sizes. You can see, you open that up, and it's got different sizes, and it's pretty good. It does a pretty good job. Okay, look at that. That's pretty good. Close that up. Okay. Okay, depending on where the light is, let's assume it's more at the top. This will be a little bit darker. It's going to be a little bit darker than the top, but not nearly as dark as the right-hand side. Okay, I'm going to turn my paper a little bit. Make it easier. Okay, so this one here is going to be a little bit lighter than that. And again, it's better to go a little lighter if you're not sure, and then you can darken it up if you need to. But it's awful hard once it's dark to get it light again. Okay, so we kind of got that taken care of. Let's try to blend it a little bit. And you can just use a tissue. If you wanted to use a blending stump, that would be good too. I don't know whether I have a blending stump handy, or I would show you what it looks like. Let's see if I got one right in here. My desk. I'm not seeing one offhand. Oh, there's one right there. So if you wanted to use a blending stump like this, I mean, you can use that too, but you don't have to have that. You can do very, very well without it. But if you want to use this, feel free to use that. But, you know, I kind of like a tissue, you know? So, okay. So now I can make this a little bit darker, and I can make this edge a little bit cleaner. You know, maybe I want to come back here with a ruler and clean this up a little bit. And you kind of look how what I'm doing with my ruler. If I kind of leave it there, I don't go over the edge and get some on my lighter value. My ruler kind of keeps me honest there. If I'm shading in, I can shade in pretty dark and not get over that edge unless I move it. And kind of clean up that edge a little bit. Okay, it gives me a nice sharp edge there. Okay, so maybe I want to make this edge just as sharp. I can do that. I really like the value to show the edge of my sides and not a line. So I really try to get rid of that line. But so what do I do over here? I think I need a little bit more shading in here, a little more value. Okay, it's not too bad. I don't want to have a line right there. You see I got that little bit of line, so I'm going to bust this out a little bit and try to bring that value over a bit. See if that will help out. Get rid of that line. And I could blend it a little bit better. Okay, and don't forget that if you need to clean up the edges, you can use a piece of paper and your eraser and clean these up some. That will help some right there. Clean that up. Clean that edge up. Let's see if I can get this edge cleaned up right. Okay, that edge is a little nicer. Okay. This one here, I think it's kicked out a little bit, so I'm going to try to angle that just a little bit. Okay, it's not too bad. And you can see here that we want, there's no real line there. You can't see a line. It's just the value makes the line. Well, technically it's not a line at all, but it makes what looks like a line. And I probably could do a little bit better job on that. I'm going to see if I can clean this one up. Let's see if I can fix that up a little bit too. Let's get a little bit more of that line out of there. Okay, so that's not too bad. Okay, again, I could blend it more if I want, but what I want to do now is I want to talk about, like, you know, the shadow. You know, I want to show you what the shadow might look like. So if the light is mostly coming from the back, I might have a shadow that starts like right here. And, you know, it might look like this here, and I might have it go over the edge here. It might get that other edge there, depending on where the light is, okay? And then we have to decide, what angle is it? You know, is it straight like this? Is it more like this? You know, and you can try some different angles and just see what looks right to you. And then how dark should it be? Should it be really dark? A little bit dark? Okay, let's try our tissue again. See if that helps blend it. Kind of our low-tech, cost-effective blending tool. And then, like I said, if you want to make the edge of it cleaner, straighter, okay, we can do that. We can blend it again if we want to. Or if we want to just keep it a little bit rough, I mean, we could do that, okay? You can also use your paper here if you want to get it, you know, really straight, hard edge. You could do this. It kind of cleans up the edge for us there. We could do the same thing for over here. Cleans up the edge right there, okay? And then, you know, if you want to keep a hard edge over here, maybe you do. You know, it depends on what you think. And I'm not sure exactly what, or maybe we would have more of an angle like this. So we could do this. Okay, let's see how that looks. Okay, it doesn't look too bad. I still feel like this line here and this line here aren't quite parallel. So maybe I would clean up that and take off a little bit more of this edge. Also, another thing I could do is I could put a little bit light like on our edges here. Let's see, I was gonna use a ruler, but maybe I shouldn't. Kind of a erase line. Yeah, maybe I should have used a ruler. Okay. And that might be giving me something here. And then I've got a little bit of light there, but I'm okay with that. Let's just leave that as is. So I think that's probably okay. Looks pretty good to me. I might be able to darken like this up a little bit more to show the difference between, you know, this side and the other side a little bit more. Can be a little bit darker because I think the values are too similar. Some people would say that this bottom corner should be darker. And, you know, I think it just depends on, you know, what you want to do. You want to make this bottom corner a little darker, you can do that. And you can blend it. Make it nice. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. I think you guys should maybe spend a little bit more time on it than I did. I tried to do it as fast as I could to help you guys. Whoop, that didn't work out too good, did it? Okay, that is it for today.